Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Code with the Cards. This is an 18 plus channel, so viewer discretion is advised. I do curse in here and we do discuss adult topics. So today I want to talk about topics that I find more interesting and pull a little bit away from tarot, even though I'm going to incorporate it with clairaudient messages and intuitive prompting, intuitive messages, clairaudient prompting. So today I wanted to start off by talking about I wanted to go more into relationships and discuss things that I think that people should have clear logic on within relationships, because when people are asking for tarot readings, the main focus is always relationships. Most people want to hear about their significant other or the person coming to them in their life, love, all that stuff. So I'm thinking, instead of using the cards right now, let's just use complete logic as to the guide on how to look for a man and look for a woman. And I want to get this straight facts right now on the table so that we don't have to keep jumping back and forth to this topic. Masculines and feminine energies. So within tarot, it's not considered man and woman. It's considered masculine energy and female energy, or feminine energy. Please understand that if you are a man, statistically, you are not even statistically, biologically, you are made up of a portion of feminine energy. Females, biology wise, you are made up of a portion of masculine energy. Women have a penis. This has been proven by science. So let's just go to my facts. Like, you guys can read that right there. Women have a penis. If you really think about it, when women are born, everybody is a woman. When your mom is pregnant with you, you are a woman. There's an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. You start out as a woman, and then you determine which you're going to be, a man or a female. So, by me saying that, please know that if I'm talking about masculine energy, feminine energy, I could be talking about a man or a woman. So, breaking that down, now that we have that said and cleared out the way, let's start by talking about the opposite sex for women, men, and dating, and all these topics. How does a man get the title of a nice guy? Especially when most nice guys aren't that nice at all. So how do they get that complex? Especially when people perceive a man as a nice guy, I feel like that hinders him in a certain way when that shouldn't. So let me go on by talking about it. Alright. So right now we're gonna talk about Sierra and her husband. What's his name? Russell Wilson. So the other day he got called by other men and other people a square guy. Like a nice guy. Like he's got the nice guy complex. He's a square guy. Why is that considered a bad thing? Who was writing down the laws of men and women and decided that being a square guy or being a nice guy is actually a bad thing? That's a bad thing to men because they don't want to promote the agenda where women are looking for a nice guy instead of the crummy guys that there is to pick from in the dating pool. So that's one way that got put out there. I also feel like society raises people to have these type of people all over the world, men and female. Because remember, there's shitty people that are female and there's shitty people that are male. So, and even like a woman who gets a nice girl complex, why is she considered more favored? And that's the thing about it too, even though a girl next door or a nice girl is considered more favored, that's still not what is looked for at the end of the day. Because these men, they'll marry the nice girl or the girl next door and then leave her home with babies and then go cheat on her. So where did we come up with all these laws all these steps in dating, in the dating pool. Why are women allowing these men to come and do these things to them? So let's get started. I'm going to start off with just this right here. I was in high school at a house party. When I first got there, my friends immediately ditched me, and I was cornered by a guy. And let me just say, it got awkward very quickly. He started off by complimenting my height. I'm 5'10". Then he immediately went into self-pity mode, telling me his whole life's history and parents think he's a disappointment and how his grandma had just passed away. I didn't really know what to say. We just met 5 minutes ago, so I did an awkward grin with a sorry about that. I tried to make up an excuse to go away, but he wouldn't leave me and proceeded to absolutely insult the shit out of me, trying to play it off as flirting. Everything from my nose, my hair, my clothes to my fucking voice. I tried to run away, but he dragged me to where the drinks were and pressured me to have a shot of tequila. I said no. So he got really close to my ear and whispered, "Do it for my grandma." Most passive-aggressive flirting I've ever experienced. Okay, so guys, how did this man get a nice guy complex? This is more of an annoying guy complex. This is more of a shitty asshole guy complex. And now when I think of nice girls that are really shitty, I'm thinking of Amber Heard. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of issues about that whole situation, and I think they both made each other look bad. But there was one part where they were playing a video back where she was like, "Oh, do you think that really looks good on you?" And then she started chuckling, like she thinks he's like a loser or ugly. Like, she tried to disintegrate his self-esteem. And for me, I'm thinking like that's not a real, because on the outside she would look like a very wholesome, nice girl, right? You wouldn't think that behind closed doors she's sitting there talking about her boyfriend like that in his face. So how do these people get these complexes? First of all, why would you go to a party dolo? Like, even if you went with friends, you're still dolo because they ditched you at any time. So I feel like one of the main messages in this story, first of all, is don't go dolo. First of all, I don't know who, back in my day, we didn't do that. We went deep. We was at least 20 deep, if not more. That way, if something popped off, we had backup. This whole thing where you go out and you're by yourself, you're looking to get got. Think of everybody that gets got. They usually was with one person, maybe three tops, or they was by theyself. You have nobody behind you backing you up if you're by yourself. Now, let me tell you something. You can go out by yourself, and you could also make sure that you are set up properly, especially if you're going to drink. Make sure that you have an Uber on lock that knows you, that will pull up if you want to go home, if anything goes wrong, if anything breaks out. Like, make sure you have a cab driver on lock if you can't get an Uber. Make sure you have all these things in place, especially if you're drinking. We all know the cup situation. Make sure you're not drinking out of random cups. Make sure your cup is covered. If you was away from your cup, you went to the bathroom or something, don't drink that cup no more. Like, I feel like people settle for things and then wind up in these situations and then say, "How did I get here?" when you settled for that situation. So, all right, we'll take Sierra. So Russell Wilson is considered a nice guy, right? He's considered a square. And I've even heard people sit there and say he's unattractive. To be honest with you, no, he's not my top 10 of guys, I'm hot for. But then again, in my opinion, it takes a lot. So aside of that, I do think he's actually a 10. I think the actual reason why I don't see him like that is just because in my mind, he's off the market to me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be looking for him because I know he's taken. Like, for some reason, I think they're a very cute couple. Like, I feel like they fit. So, and I think that's another thing about nice women and who are, like, really mean. It's like, if she meets her girlfriend's man, She thinks, she doesn't think, oh wow, he's a nice man, he's great for her, I need to find somebody like him. No, this bitch will turn around and be like, oh, he's a nice man, he's really nice to her, I gotta get him. Don't sit there and start shooting for somebody else's man. Sweetie, if he's willing to do it with you, he's willing to do it to you. These women, I don't know. And then I hear these other things being said too. Like this one girl, he literally told her, I don't want you anymore. You're crazy. I'm going with Shorty over here. Leave me alone. Her best comeback was, you'll be back. Why do you want him back? Why are you even thinking about that day? And this is where women get caught up. Because if you'd have left him right there where you found him, you'd have been good for it. But because you plotting on this nigga, now you really trying to get him back. That means when he actually come back, you're already thinking about sleeping with this man. You're already thinking about how you took this man from another female, especially the female that took him from you. Like, don't nobody want that. You shouldn't want that. That should not be a goal. And I feel like that's how women get caught up. If he did something wrong, you gotta leave it where it is, bro. Stop with all the excuses. If that man did something, or if that female did something, leave it where it is. And men, y'all know y'all do this. It be that one female in high school that hurt y'all. Y'all run around and be disrespectful, rude, and mean, and a crappy ass boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever you want to call it, for the rest of your life. Oh, well, I got hurt back in high school. So you're literally cheating on this female. You're 30 something. You're literally cheating on this female every day because you got hurt in high school by a female, and you think this female is gonna do the same thing to you? That makes no sense. And ladies, if you hear men talking like that, that should be a red flag to leave. But honestly, in 2022, they hear that crap and be like, oh, I need to fix him. First of all, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is a main message. You cannot fix nobody. If anybody has a problem going on, you may be able to give them advice, but chances are, statistically, they're not even going to take that advice if it's not what they want to roll with. You could lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. So women, you thinking you going to help some man and fix him, it ain't happening. You could tell a man till you're blue in the face to do X, Y, and Z. If he want to do it, then he'll do it. If he don't want to do that shit, you better find another man. Because, first of all, that's not even what relationships are based on. What relationship you know where they was like, oh, I found her when I was broken and she repaired me and blah, blah, blah. He found me, oh, this, that, and the third. And then he built me up, he fixed me, and now I do everything. No. Usually for you, there's a secure woman, there's a secure man. They come together and build a secure foundation. And that's the building blocks of any type of relationship. I don't care if it's sexual or platonic. That is, you have to be secure. And that's the main message too. If you're not secure about yourself, then what are you looking for? You're looking for somebody to make you secure when the whole time it's within you, boo-boo. You can't, somebody can sit there and say, oh, such and such and such, and that might break you. But because so-and-so had your back and said and defended you or something, that makes you feel more confident. You should have felt confident from jump. There's a such thing as a high value woman. There's a such thing as a high value man. And if somebody could tell you something and break you like that, what kind of mental weakness is that? So I digress a lot. Like, I really digress. Let's get back on track. Okay. So now I know all you ladies have been in this area where a guy has got you cornered. Because that's one thing men like to do. And I want y'all to remember this. People, I don't care if they're the nicest, I don't care if They're the nicest people in the world. At one point in time, they had to be nice to reel you in. Ain't nobody gonna reel you in with no crap talking, no smack talking, no put downs, no nothing. They had to be good to you. They had to buy you that stuff. They had to spend that money on dinner for you. Because if they didn't spend that money on dinner for you, they didn't think they was going to get to fuck. And that's basically what it is. A man will put up with you as long as he getting the fuck. If he not getting the fuck, he do not care. And he will do whatever he can just to say he hit that and then bounce. Because that's all. That's another thing that's taught by society and people all over the world. Like, men will put up with your shit. Why? No, I'm sorry, I digress. Listen, men, that's what is most commonly talked about between a crowd of men, a group of men, is who they got to bang, who they got to disrespect, and who they got to do what to you. This video is getting really long, so I'm going to do a part 2. So I'm going to stop it right here, and I'm going to see you in the next video, guys. Peace.